Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. You'll learn about method reference and constructor reference in Java 8. Let's get started.
Method reference and constructor reference. So what is this method reference and constructor reference, and why I need this method reference and constructor reference in Java, right? So that we can add some point into this. Let me give one example. See, first talk about method reference. See, we are going to execute lambda expression, and we are calling lambda expression using functional interface, right? So what we find is that we call lambda expression using functional interface. We call lambda expression using functional interface. Now the question is there any alternative of lambda expression that we call using functional interface? Okay, so is there any alternative of lambda expression that we can call using functional interface? What is the alternative of lambda expression? What is the alternative of lambda expression? So alternative of lambda expression is your method reference. Method reference. Okay. So this method reference, the answer is method reference. Our solution is method reference. So this method reference we generally use using this operator. Okay. So not only method reference but also constructor reference, method reference and constructor reference. Both are alternative of your lambda expression. So we can it is used this is said to be a scope resolution operator. You can see here it is looking like a scope resolution operator, right? We have used in C++ like this operator. So this is actually used to reference a method reference. This is actually used to reference a method constructor. Okay, this is this operator. Okay. So that functional interface method can be mapped to our specified method using this operator, that is method reference, right? So now what is the advantage of using this method reference? If you want to say any advantage, if I want to say what is the advantage of using method reference, then we'll say it is nothing but code reusability. Okay, so let's see one example to understand in which scenario I should go for this method reference. Using an example, I think it will be much more better. Okay, let me write one example in which scenario I should go for this method reference. So last day we have done one hello world example. If you remember, we have done one hello world example last day. Let me open that hello world example using or we can write once again. Better to use that one. Last we have done one hello world example using functional interface. So I'm just checking that one. I'll use that one to implement method reference. Okay, this one. If you see, this is the hello world example that we have done last year. Control C. So this is the hello world example that we have done last day. Just here. Fine. This is my interface hello world. I have one hello method. So what we have done is that this is my main class, and this is the functional interface I'm using. Sorry, the lambda expression I'm going to call using this functional interface reference, right? So when you use hello, no input, that's why this is like this, no input. Calling hello, it is called and gets output, get printed. Right now, what I'm saying is that I'm calling method reference. That means using lambda expression, I want to point out a method. That is a simple thing. I don't want to use lambda expression. I don't want to use lambda expression. Alternative of my lambda expression is method reference. That means using functional interface, I want to reference a method without using this lambda expression, right? Fine. So let me modify this. Control C and Control V. I'm writing the second version. Just see here, please. Writing the second version here. Writing the second version here. So this is the second version. Okay, so just see here, please. Okay, file, save. Now in the second version, what I am saying is that I don't want to use any lambda expression, no lambda expression. Fine. So without using lambda expression, I want to reference a method. I want to reference a method, right? So provide one method. Provide one method. Which method I want to reference? Write one method. Public void demo. Assume my method name is public void demo. So this demo method I want to reference. Print something inside this demo method like system.out.println inside demo. Inside demo. Right? Save this. Fine. Now if you see this, I want to reference a demo method, right? So I have just written one demo method here, right? So this demo method I want to reference using lambda expression. Sorry, using this demo method I want to reference using functional interface, right? So how functional interface will point to this demo method. So using now this is a class, right? And it is what type of method? Instance method. Instance method you always point out with the help of object, class object. Is an instance method, not a static method. Two types of method is there: a static method, instance method. Now what I want to point? I want to point a instance method. Instance method you always point out using a class object. So class object means this class object. So create an object of the AC class. HC OB equal to new HC. Fine. Now using this OB scope resolution operator, using this I'm going to point out a method. Which method? Demo. That's it. That's it, done. If I'm going to call hello, then it is going to call this demo method. Now it is not going to call any lambda expression. I have replaced lambda expression using method reference, right? So if I already have the method implementation in my project, then better to go for method reference without going to lambda expression. Okay, so in which scenario I should go for method reference, or in which scenario I should go for lambda expression? If the implementation already available, then better to go for method reference. Just you have to use the scope revelation operator to point out this method. If it is an instance method, then I'll use like this. If it's a static method, then I have to use class name, method name. Fine, done. So let me save and compile and run. Control C. Right. So I have to use ac.java. Right. New class HC. Right. Okay. Control C, Control V, save this one. Is there anything wrong? It's optional, so not leave it. Save this. Everything is right. Right click, run as Java application. Run. Yes, it's working fine. Method reference using skip. This operator is working fine. No issues. Fine. That's it here. Right? Okay. So I've just given only one point, right? Like what is the point? Just now told. The point is if the implementation is already available, the implementation is already available, then we should go for method reference. Then we should go for method reference, right? Okay. If implementation is not already available, then go for lambda expression. See? If the implementation is not already available, then we should go for lambda expression. Fine. Okay. Okay. Now this is the scenario. Fine. Now here we talked about method reference. Now we have another one, constructor reference. Talking about method reference, right? What you are talking about, complete thing is on method reference only. But we have another one concept called constructor reference. So when I should go for constructor reference, right? We have another one component called constructor reference. Constructor reference. So in which scenario I should go for constructor reference? See, constructor reference scenario, as the meaning is saying, constructor means it is related to some object. Constructor means it is related to some object, right? So constructor means that means if any method is returning an object, if you find any method is returning an object, then you should go for this constructor reference. If a method is returning an object, then we should go for constructor reference. So let's see how let's see an example. Let's see an example in which how we can move with the constructor reference. Let's see an example. Okay, so using our EMP class only, let's see, this is my EMP class EMP. Okay, inside this EMP class, assume you have one constructor. Okay, one constructor. I'm writing a smallest example as much as assume you have an constructor. Fine. So inside the constructor you have system dot out dot println. You have something like emp class default constructor, emp class default constructor. So inside your emp class, we have an emp default constructor, right? Okay. Now we have the scenario when I should go for constructor reference without using lambda expression. If my method is returning an object, okay, so assume this is your functional interface E. Assume it is your functional interface where you have a particular method get, and this is returning an emp class object. Fine, right? If it is then this is functional interface, right? Then you can write one class, main class demo, or constructor reference demo, constructor reference demo. Okay, this is a main class. In the main class, I should have main method, static void main. Okay. Okay. Now inside this class, you can create and this is functional interface, right? So functional interface EI, right, equal to now I don't want to point out lambda expression. I want to use constructor reference. Why I want to use constructor reference? Because my class method is returning an EMP class object. That's why I'm using constructor reference. So how I can point constructor reference? Class name, resolution operator. We have to use one keyword called new. Using this new keyword, we always interface method referred to an EMP constructor. You have to remember that one. Using this new keyword, your interface method referred to EMP constructor, right? Okay. So now what do you want to do? EMP E1 equal to I dot get should return an EMP class object. If constructor is called, then this should be printed in the console, right? So let me check it's printing or not. Constructor reference demo class name. So my class name is constructor reference demo. So create one class, right click new class. Class name is constructor reference demo. Fine. Finish. Control V. Check everything is fine. EMP class is giving summary already exist. Okay, fine. So do one thing, click on package, right click, new package, and use this package name is this, finish. And move this class inside this package. Okay. Now we'll not get any error. Right click, source format, save it. Right click, run as web application. Yes, it's working fine, right? Fine. So this is a small example just to understand how constructor reference work and how method reference work, and in which scenario I should go for constructor reference, in which scenario I should go for method reference, and in which scenario I should go for lambda expression, right? So these are the things all about here.